Hello, in this video we're going to deal with how to record and how to report on your GST or your VAT input tax reporting. And in many countries there is a input tax, and each quarter you're required to perhaps submit taxes that you've collected on your revenue that has been paid to you as part of your sale. And also, you can offset that by claiming taxes on expenditures that any input tax on any inputs or any expenses, you can claim that back. So you end up with a net balance each quarter that you have to either collect or remit to the government. And this is all part of our business in many countries today. So let's just show you how this works with the program. Now, the first thing is with the ProLadder software, you're going to want to have a version that allows you to keep track of these taxes. So you're going to want the tax version. So when you go to our website, you can see on the product pages on the left side, you're going to see the basic and expanded version with one or two taxes to track. And on the right side, there's going to be the same ledger program with no taxes to track. So in this case, we're assuming you have the one tax at least to track, or perhaps two. It's the same process. So I'll show you how that works. So let's, for example, look at an entry, such as this one, where there's a service of a $105 bill, $105 expense, and the GST on this, or the input tax, is $5, and the program, calculates that out for you nicely, and you end up with $5 that you can claim back against the government. And of course, when there's revenue, um, there's going to be revenue of $1,200, and if you're charging GST on that amount, that means if the customer paid you in total 1,200 in this case, and the tax portion was 5714, then you ended up with 1142.86 after tax as business revenue. This $57, you got to send that to the government, and of course, each quarter, this is when it typically is required. So you're going to, with each entry, record the taxes that you've collected on any revenue, and you're also going to record the tax on any expense that you've incurred. And then when you go into the program, you can go into whichever quarter you want to report on. Let's say it's the first quarter, because it's a quarterly report, and then go to the report screen, and you can go down to the bottom here. You're going to see that on the right side, where the business only statement happens here, you can see the business and the tax column here. You can see that you've got the tax totals. So for example, in the tax summary, it says you've collected $204.33 of input tax on revenues. So that's recorded here for you automatically. And in that first quarter, on the expenditures, you've paid $44.31 on input taxes. So you're able to pay to the government. You're going to owe them $160.02, and this is automatically calculated. All you got to do is just choose the quarter, and in this case there isn't any other entries on any other quarter, but you just simply choose on the date field the quarter, and this gets calculated out for you, and that's how that works. Now, just a quick thing at the end here. When you pay this amount, you have to be careful, because you're not going to be able to record that as an expense. You're going to record that as a transfer of funds. And the reason being, you can transfer that out of an account, for example, whatever account you're using to pay it, because when the program records the revenue of 47.45 in this case, or 45.40, it doesn't include that as revenue. So there's nothing to expense against, because the revenue this has never been recorded as revenue, so you can't claim it as an expense either. You just simply record it as a transfer out of the account you paid it. So for example, you're paying GST payment, and let's say it came from your savings account, and it was business. And you can set up a tax input tax expense category if you like of 160. But in reality, you're going to be transferring money out, and you're going to say this is a quarterly remittance of a GST or input tax. Put the amount in there, and then choose submit. And that way, you've recorded the funds being paid, but it doesn't show up as an expense item on the revenue statement because it wasn't recorded as income in the first place. So that would keep you on track. Okay, well, that's all there's to it. Thanks for tuning in.